Here are the retailers raising prices as Trump tariffs take hold. Today on Here's the Scoop. So today's article comes from CNBC, and I'm just going to skip down here because it's kind of a lot and I want to just get to the point for you guys. So, after Trump implemented steep tariffs on dozens of countries in April, his administration has temporarily cut them to lower but still significant levels. Imports from China face a 30% duty, while goods from other nations are subject to a 10% duty. A federal trade court struck down many of those tariffs on Wednesday, only for an appeals court to reinstate them, adding to the uncertainty retailers face. Crazy, just crazy. So a federal court struck down these tariffs and then an appeals court is reinstating them. Just who's in charge here? I don't even know. It's just insane. Economists on both sides of the aisle agree that tariffs are inflationary and the cost will likely be passed on to consumers, though government data has not showed a clear effect yet. A majority, 68% of US CEOs say they have either increased prices already or are considering doing so this year in the face of tariffs, according to a new survey by Chief Executive Group and Alix Partners. So 68%, guys, of US CEOs say they're going to increase prices or they already have done so. So here's a breakdown of what several major retailers have said about their plans to raise prices as a way to mitigate the tariff impact. So brands that have already raised some prices are Costco. All right. Executives of the warehouse club retailer told investors on Thursday that tariffs have forced the company to tweak its supply chain and raise prices in some cases. Costco has absorbed tariff costs for some goods while it has increased prices in other instances, said CFO Gary Millerchip. For example, he said the retailer has held prices steady for staple items like bananas and pineapples sourced from Central and South America. Meanwhile, it has raised prices on flowers from those regions since shoppers buy those less frequently. Best Buy. Best Buy has already raised prices on some items to offset tariff costs, CEO Corey Berry said on a call with reporters. Changes took effect by mid May. She declined to say which items are affected and called price hikes, quote, the very last resort for Best Buy. Okay, good. Shark Ninja. On Shark Ninja's latest earnings call in May, CEO Mark Barrakas said the company has already increased prices for several of its key products in response to tariffs and will, quote, continue to look for additional opportunities to do so. Interesting. So he's saying Shark Ninja CEO is saying that they have already increased prices of several of its key products in response to tariffs, and they will continue to look for additional opportunities to keep raising prices. So anyone who purchases from Shark Ninja, just know they love to raise prices. That's basically what he just said. As an example, he said the company recently raised the price of one of its Ninja espresso machines from $499 to $549 and saw no degradation in demand. Some price hikes will stick and others will be dialed back, he said, depending on how consumers react. So basically, Shark Ninja CEO Mark Barrakas is saying, hey, I'm going to raise the price until you guys start complaining. In a March interview, Barkos told CNBC that nearly all of the company's production will be moved out of China by the end of 2025. Okay. Newell Brands. Executives from Newell Brands, which owns stroller company Graco, as well as Rubbermaid, Yankee Candle, Papermate, and Sharpie, said during an April 30th earnings call that the company has raised prices on its baby gear by about 20%. The company said it's equipped to handle Trump's tariffs unless he raises duties on imports from China again, since the majority of baby gear sold in the U.S. is made in China. All right, retailers that say they plan to increase prices. So, just to go over what we just went over, guys, those were brands that have already raised prices: Costco, Best Buy, Shark Ninja, Newell Brands. And now these are retailers that say they plan to increase prices. Walmart, our best friend. You guys, you know I'm kidding. But, anyways, Walmart shoppers will likely see prices increase towards the end of May and more in June because of tariffs, said Chief Financial Officer John David Rainey during an interview with CNBC earlier in May. Executives did not specify during the company's most recent earnings call how much more Walmart customers could pay, but CEO Doug McMillon said items that could be affected are toys, electronics, and some grocery items, including bananas, avocados, coffee, and roses. Okay. Nike. Last week, Nike said it will raise prices on a wide range of products by June. By June 1st, Nike apparel and equipment for adults will increase between $2 and $10, a person familiar with the matter previously told CNBC, while footwear will see a hike between $5 and $10, depending on price point. The company did not say whether the decision was related to tariffs, though it makes about half its footwear in China and Vietnam, which currently face 30% and 10% duties, respectively. 30% on China, 10% on Vietnam. Next up, Target. Target will increase prices on certain products to help offset tariff costs, Chief Commercial Officer Rick Gomez said during the company's latest earnings call in May. CEO Brian Cornell added that price changes are the quote very last resort for the company as it tries to mitigate effects of the duties. He declined to provide details when asked about the company's plan for price hikes or whether it had already raised prices. Quote, we're constantly adjusting pricing, Cornell said, and some are going up, some will be reduced, and that's an ongoing effort that takes place each and every day. Who's shopping at Target? I don't think anybody's shopping at Target. Between the boycott of Target right now and then just in general, the prices in Target, coupled with the boycott in Target, of Target, nobody's shopping at Target right now. But, anyways, Mattel. Barbie parent Mattel said it will raise prices on some U.S. products where necessary to help offset levies. CEO Yanan Krez said on CNBC's Squawk Box in May that the company plans to source less than 40% of its products from China by the end of the year and less than 25% from that country in the next 2 years. Okay, but guys, you know that all these Chinese factories are now just moving to Vietnam, right? Guys, you know that Xi Jinping actually went and met with the Vietnamese president, and they already have a deal in place. So, yeah. Anyways, I mean, they'll basically still be like dealing with a Chinese factory, just in another country outside of China. But anyways, Macy's CEO Tony Springs said during an interview with CNBC that the retailer will hike certain prices and stop carrying other items to offset the hit from tariffs. He said the company will make surgical price adjustments. Retailers that say they are considering price hikes. Ralph Lauren. Executives on Ralph Lauren's May earnings call said the company is taking, quote, selective pricing actions and strategic discount reductions. To help manage tariff impacts. So, selective pricing actions, they're going to selectively decide what they're going to price their products at, and strategic discount reductions, they're going to decide strategically what they're going to discount and what they're not, or how much they're going to discount, right? CFO Justin Pacici, I think this is how you say his last name. I don't know how to say this. Justin Pacici said that Ralph Lauren is assessing additional pricing actions for the fall and next spring to mitigate tariffs. This is on top of the proactive pricing the company had already planned for the fall in North America and Asia. Executives said no single country accounts for more than 20% of the brand's production volumes in most countries, including China, represent a single digit percentage. Okay, so they're trying to say basically we don't make all of our stuff in China, regardless of what you guys believe. We don't. VF Corp CEO Bracken Darrell said during May earnings that VF Corp, which includes brands The North Face, Vans, Timberlands, and Dickies, is going to be very strategic about pricing in response to tariffs. CFO Paul Vogel added that the company's plan to offset the tariffs impacts include cost management, sourcing relocations, and pricing actions. Vogel said that the company's top four sourcing countries are Vietnam, Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Indonesia. In that order, okay, in that order, and that China accounts for less than 2% of the company's total costs coming into the U.S. So if you are purchasing North Face, Vans, Timberland, Dickies, a lot of their stuff comes from Vietnam, Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Companies that say they will not raise prices. This is good news. Home Depot. And there's only one, guys. How sad. Okay, Home Depot. Last week, Home Depot broke away from the other retailers when CFO Richard McPhail told CNBC in an interview that the company intends to generally maintain our current pricing levels across our portfolio. He said that more than half of what the company sells comes from the U.S., Home Depot has diversified its sourcing, he said, so that by this time next year, no single country outside of the U.S. will account for more than 10% of the retailer's purchases. Well, hey, that's good because a lot of people that work in construction or are building homes or just, they need Home Depot. Home Depot is very valuable. So this is a good thing that they don't plan on raising prices. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Like, are these brands that you support? Are these stores that you go to? If so, are you going to continue to support them as they plan to increase prices or have price hikes? Or pass the tariffs on to you because that's what they do when they get tariffs. They just pass them on to you. Or are you planning to personally step back and, save your money basically and not spend as much? Are you planning to go to discount retailer stores like Burlington or Ross? What are your plans as they're going to raise prices? A lot of these places are going to raise prices. Only Home Depot's the only one that said they're not going to raise prices. So, what are you guys' plans? How are you going to navigate this? Let me know in the comments, and or if you're already navigating it, let us know, in the comments, what are you doing to mitigate this, so you could still save money, still have fun, still go out, still enjoy yourself. Let us know in the comments. I appreciate you guys for listening, and until next time.